Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hoppers. Today, checking out some really freaking fresh beer. This is only 6 days old, and it's another collab with a hype brewery between a hype brewery and Omnipollo at Omnipollo's Church. This is a collab with Troon Brewing in New Jersey. One of the arguably most hype producers of hazy hoppy beer these days, and they produce, I think they only do growlers still. And the growlers go for like $100 for like secondary. It's crazy. It's also massive cans. It's like almost a liter of beer. So that's still expensive for hoppy beer and whatnot. But a lot of people are into these things and trying all these hyped beers like that. So Omnipollo was really kind to send me the can. That's why I get it so fresh. Henok reached out. It's like, hey, I got this beer tapped. Do you want some? And I was like, sure. Because the last experience was amazing with 3x3. So, and of course, just because Henok and the team at Omnipollo sent me some beer doesn't mean I'm going to be like, oh, this is the best beer in the world. If it's not, I'm always honest. That's what you have to be as a kind of beer critic or beer reviewer. So, but what's been going on at the church at the moment, I'm thinking this is going to be pretty fire. So the last beer I got from them was a triple IPA. This is a triple IPA. I'm using that in a triple IPA, but I've raved about 3x3. It was insanity. So this was canned on the 19th of October, 6 days ago. So yeah, that's crazy. So Troon, really hype brewery, as I said. I've had one Troon beer, actually, only. And funny enough, I shared that with Henok last year at NBCC. It was actually Dan, if you know Dan, everyone knows Dan the man. He brought a can of Troon to share with Marcus from Brewski, and Henok and I was there, and it was like, oh, so we shared it together, and it was just like totally mind-blowing experience. I don't even know what beer it was. It was one of the hoppy ales, of course, but I was just like, that's the most hop-saturated, crazy, intense beer, but yet balanced, and it was just something else in terms of haze, which it was amazing. But that's the only Troon beer I've had since. But this is really fresh. Again, 6 days. It could also be almost too fresh. Let's see. So 9.6% triple IPA, contains oats and wheat, Troon and Omnipollo, brewed at the church. And we got something else coming soon as well. So they just kegged the most, bottled even, the most ambitious sounding barrel-aged beer Omnipollo has ever done. It's a collab with the Vale called Amun Ra Church Edition or something like that. And it's where it consists of beer that's been aged in barrels at the Vale, blended with beer brewed in the church and aged in barrels at Omnipollo's church, and then conditioned on adjuncts. Oh, no, I think actually blended together, barrel aged again, and then conditioned on adjuncts. It was something nuts like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because Hannah was also, you want to try this? And I was, yes, of course. Sounds just nuts, man, because like a lot of brewers in Europe don't do these crazy things because it's so expensive. And it is, and that's also the reason why a lot of these cans and bottles and shit are just way crazy priced. But to get to that like crazy American level, you just need to splurge and say fuck it sometimes, and that's how you do it really, and get crazy barrels. Like that's also expensive. We have to get fresh barrels from the States and whatnot. But we've raved enough about this. I'm a massive fan of what's going on at the church right now. So hopefully this will be dope shit. So we got Citra, Rawaka, and Nelson. Same combo as in 3x3. And look at that. Pin bright haze. That is how haze is supposed to look in my mind. That's how I prefer haze. It looks crazy hop saturated and just like banging. Like, it's not always that when they go orange, they're really sweet. And I actually think the 3x3, as it sat in the can, sediment dropped a bit and it got more orange. But when there's this much hops in suspension, that's why it looks this crazy. It's actually also interesting with 3x3. The highest rated version of it so far is from Brewhouse. And they are just opening up their facility very soon. I saw Heineck was over there brewing. That's a brewery to keep an eye out for in Portland, Oregon. But let's check out the nose on this bad boy. Really, really, it smells like pineapple juice. So I think it's not like, it's not the same bursting experience as with 3x3, but it smells really, really damn nice. But also, I think maybe more when I think back, the Troon beer was also more cohesive. Like, it was very intense, but it was not like this, like crazy sharp intensity. But it's also been sitting in the glass for a while because I got 2 twins now. And they've been crying and stopped crying, and I've tried to shoot this video like 3 times. But it smells really good. It's super juicy and super bright. It's just like there's so much passion fruit and pineapple in this. Like pineapple passion fruit juice. And it's actually also interestingly, on the nose at least, it's not that dank compared to like 3x3. It just smells more like a massive bright juice bomb, at least right now. There's a little bit of a candy kind of interesting note, almost like Starburst candy or something like that to me, which could be a yeast character. It just smells massive too. No like alcohol or anything. There's also stone fruit underneath. It smells really good. Smells poppin', smells bright, smells nice. Let's try it. Cheers. Thanks, Enoch, and the team at Omnipollo for the beer. That is rich. That is probably the richest triple IPA I think I've had. And I think that's something I remember from the Troon beer as well. It was really filling and rich in the mouth. And it's the same with this. Like really mouth coating. It's also almost 10%, but it's like so fluffy. And what's interesting though, like it's got sweetness and lots of juicy esters and whatnot, but there's also so much hop saturation that it doesn't become too much and too sweet. And not really bitterness per se, but just like a bit of a bite. But I don't think it's like crazy green or anything. Like a lot of times with these kind of beers, they can also be a bit green and harsh, but it isn't. What a mouthfeel, though. Great mouthfeel on this one. It's really great. Loads of juice on this one, too. I mean, there is some brightness and whatnot, but it's not that crazy, caddy, dank kind of brightness that I really love. There's a little bit of it, but it's just like this pure tropical fruit juice expression, like loads of bright tropical fruits, pineapple, passion fruit. Maybe not as singy and sharp as Monstera Deliciosa, which I think it was in the 3x3, but it's in that vein. I think Citra really shines. There on the nose, I got more of a Nelson character too. Gasolini. And a lot of people talk about Rewaka with this bacony, meaty almost thing. I'm not really getting that here either. It's more like really just like tropical fruit juices. Pineapple, passion fruit, guava. I mean, things like all those kind of bright, but also maybe slightly sweet-ish. It's going down way too fast. This is 9.6% triple IPA. I really need to be careful. Yeah, there's some overripe kind of juicy notes. It's like overripe, maybe guava, overripe. It's not really mango, is it? It's like bright as well. So it's like, I think it's maybe guava. There is a little bit of that kind of Starburst kind of candy-like sweetness. It almost reminds me a bit of like when Slice has done hazy IPAs, the kind of yeast character that they have, but with just much more hop intensity. There is a little bit of a spicy herbal kind of nuance on the back, which can be from just the massive intensity of hop matter in here, which I think it is. But other than that, it's like this is almost like pure bright pineapple juice. It's really intense. Pineapple passion fruit juice. This is fucking awesome haze. I think it is world class, but I don't think it's like as close to perfection as 3x3. Like I like that one a little bit more. Maybe I was more in the mood. I don't know. Like there's so many factors that varies, but this is just so well made stuff still. Like there's no one in Europe, I think, brewing hazy beer on this level at the moment. It's bright, it's banging, it's saturated. Well, besides maybe Trek. I think Trek and Omnipollo are the kings at the moment. Omnipollo's church at making like intense hazies. But I've also not been following the haze craze for a while because I've been a bit juiced out. And that could also be maybe why I'm not as excited. Like I was hoping I'd be like fucking almost 100 type beer, but I'm not. I think I'm gonna go 95. I think it's a world class hazy, but I was just more excited about 3x3. I don't know why. And it's interesting drinking it now. Like it does not seem like too fresh or anything. Like often again with these beers, that people say they need to sit for a bit, and this is like almost room temp. Not room temp. It's lightly chilled now because I had to do so many retakes, and it's not boozy, and it's not too like bright and burny or vegetal or anything like hop matter. Just a damn delicious triple IPA. I really enjoy it. Like this feels like the mouthfeel of like an imperial stout. To be honest, it's pretty intense, but without being too much and without being too sweet and whatnot. And that's also the thing. I usually triple IPAs for me it can be like because they're so sweet and whatnot. This is how you do a triple IPA. There's recently some Danish breweries that's been releasing some, and it just doesn't come close to this. Like if you want to make a triple hazy IPA, it needs to be like this. It's triple. It's triple of everything, you know. So, but yeah, world class. Another fucking winner from the church. But I prefer 3x3 just a little bit more. That was fucking crazy. But yeah, factors play into that. We'll see. I've got 3 more cans. I'll try and crack one in a few weeks' time. See how it's doing. But I'm not going to do a video. Maybe an Instagram post. We'll see. A little story. But yeah, awesome stuff. Thanks a ton to Omnipollo for the beer. This was really nice. Another hoppy ale collab with Troon. This will be out, I guess, now. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled for this if you want to try it. And is this as good as Troon? I think everyone who drinks this who's tried Troon is going to be like, no, it's not as good as Troon, because that's how it is with beer. But I think it's hard to judge, to be honest, because I drank it in a small glass at a festival, a lot of beers in. I just remember being like, wow, this is awesome. But I think I see some similarities, especially in the mouthfeel and also like the balance of things. That's damn good. So yeah, if you guys had the Omnipollo and Troon, another hoppy ale, let me know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thanks, a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. You can see it's a tired dad doing these videos now. And I want to say cheers and thanks to Omnipollo and the church team for the beer. You guys are doing a great job. And say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.